You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
You've got to create a lot of different emotion to heighten your sense of awareness and focus. Like for me, anger was good. Anger was good because it was motivating. The more I could create an enemy, the more I wanted to go out and kill those guys. Now, I knew I wasn't gonna kill them physically, but man, if I could just, what did they say? You know, and what did they look like? And did they disrespect me at all? You know, and did that asshole say something? Like, those are little things that can get me right in the emotional frame of mind that when I ran on the field and I said, let's fucking go. It was really, let's go kick some ass. That's what we were doing.
This voice in your head that wants you to do nothing. This voice in your head, and he calls it resistance.
Yeah.
And he talks about this resistance that is in your head and that you have to decide that you are a professional. This is what a professional does. A professional goes to work and they give in to the muse. Okay, the concept of the muse, whether or not it's real, but the concept of the muse is you settle in and receive creativity almost like as a divine gift from this magical entity, the muse. Now, whether or not it's real is not important. What's important is if you treat it as if it's real, it does work. And what works is if you dedicate your time and your focus, like realistically, with a professional, disciplined effort to creativity. You show up every day like a professional, but you show up to be creative. If you just do it on a regular basis, ideas will come to you.
Do not be the caught cynic. The ability to express wonder and amazement and seem like you mean it is a rare and dying talent, but one still greatly valued.
That there is a way out, that there is a way to do more, to get more, to obtain more. But I personally don't want to lose all that I've been able to get. So I need to make sure that I do everything to keep it. So I can't be content. So there is an understanding, but I refuse to click on the switch of,
You have to be a little maniacal with the shit. Maniac, right? That word isn't good in a lot of situations, but when you're pursuing your destiny, when you identify with your destiny, you have to be selfish, you have to be maniacal, you have to be uncompromising. And you have to move in a way when it comes to those three things, when you function completely in a way where it's an unwavering faith. Like, it don't matter how fucked up that shit might look. It don't matter how much it feel like it ain't gonna work.
You know, it's all psychological, to be honest. You've got to be able to control your breathing and control your emotions in there. Again, like I said, sometimes I've been up and down on it. Sometimes I've riled up too much to it, and I'm only young, Tony, you know, I'm still learning the game. Yeah. And I don't claim to know it all. But what I do know, I know it damn well, you know, and I'm continuing to learn and continuing to push on. And that's where I'm at now, so.
Delusional. Complete delusion. You gotta believe the delusion. Because it's only delusional until it works. So is it really delusional? Only gonna call it delusion until it don't work for nobody else to see, but for the whole world to see. And then once the world see it, there's nothing delusional about it. Now your delusion becomes, oh, he was a genius.
You're gonna know what it's gonna be like to make it personal. Because I'm gonna make it personal. Because it's always been personal.
Welcome all experiences. You never know which one is gonna turn everything on. Don't put up the walls. The same wall that keeps out disappointment keeps out happiness. Take down the walls. Go for the experience. Let it teach you.
And that little voice becomes completely drowned out. And so you don't know who you are anymore. And you're afraid, particularly young people today, I mean, maybe it's always been that way, are so afraid of being different. They're so afraid of being odd. But look at all the powerful people in this world. Look at your Elon Musks. Look at your celebrities in entertainment, in business and politics. They're one of a kind. They have like, I hate that word, but it's like a brand. They're different. They stand out for something that's truly different. You know, even Albert Einstein, there's nobody else like Einstein. There's nobody like Da Vinci. Okay? That's where your power lies. And you'll go, oh, but Robert, those are people that were brilliant, that were talented. I'm not like that. I don't have that. Well, bullshit. You do have that. It's just you're forgetting about it. You don't want to put the effort into it.
You're just sitting down in front of your laptop and these thoughts are coming to you, and all of a sudden you're talking about a kid who's riding a bike and he gets attacked by a werewolf. Like, where the is this coming from? If it's not coming from the muse, where is it coming from? Well, it's coming from my creativity. Okay. Do you know how to access your creativity like you can blink? No, you don't. Do you know how to access your activity like you can lick something or perform any sort of physical function that's repeatable? No, you don't. It's a non-repeatable thing. Treat it like it's magic. But treat it like you're a professional and you show up to engage with the magic. So every day, at the same time, you sit down in front of your keyboard and you start working. And just put in the work and force yourself to do it. Force it like a muscle.
We all got the gift. There's something that we've all been blessed with. At some point, if we listen to that little thing that speaks to us inside, some people call it instinct, some people call it a vibe, some people call it an energy, whatever the you call it. Some people call it a voice. Whatever that thing is, bro, if it sparks the thought that changes the whole trajectory to what your life can evolve into because you took a second to listen to that shit, you are identifying with your blessing, you are identifying with your gift, and at that point, you learn what the fuck it is and become one with it and walk in your purpose, bro.
Would prohibit me from furthering myself in life. That's what I was told. At the moment, I said, damn, maybe I should have applied myself. Maybe I should have did different. When I saw all my friends get their test scores back and they were ecstatic. 800s, 900s, 960s. Everybody's going to college. Felt like the biggest idiot in the world. The biggest idiot in the fucking world. Because the same people that I went and rushed to go to Great Adventure with, they had taken their SAT the week before. They already got their work done. They did everything they were supposed to do. So that moment of fun was real fun for them. I was the only dumbass that didn't prioritize and take care of my shit. So I'm the only one going to community college. Everybody else off to Villanova, Temple University, Drexel University. God damn. I just got left behind. Why didn't y'all tell me that y'all did it the week before? How come y'all ain't tell me that we was serious about the college shit? Y'all ain't tell me y'all was trying to go to Temple or Drexel? Oh, wait. It's because my life isn't their life. They're focused on themselves. Wow, they're doing what they're supposed to do.
One of these days, you'll be sitting on a front porch somewhere, and you won't hardly know what's going on. So don't give up. If times are hard, good things nor bad things last forever. But most generally, we are in control of our own destiny. And when I say that, I mean this. If you're not getting ahead, you need to do something to allow yourself to get ahead.
And what a time now for us to take this dream and not let it die. Take this dream and give it life. Take this dream and breathe into it your own personal spirit until finally it becomes a flame that burns around the whole world. Let's go do it now.
Always stick to what makes you weird, odd, strange, different. That's your source of power, which is similar to occupy your niche. Embrace your strangeness, identify what makes you different, fuse those things together and become an anomaly.
when you set a dream and you say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you make a plan, and then plans are good. But if you come to a certain point where there's a tree across the road or the bridge is out, you can't say, well, there goes my dream. You've got to be flexible. Well, what am I going to do? What adjustments am I going to make to be able to still get to where I'm going, to be what I want to be? You need some flexibility. You need discipline. You need personal discipline. There's times when you don't feel like doing what needs to be done to get this.
As I've said since day one, motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, and it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. Discipline is infinitely more important. So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do. That's it. And that's discipline. It's not motivation. If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do. That's the way it works.
One of the things that happens with human beings is you get so far along in your life and these behavior patterns become so like tight grooves that are carved into your psyche. And then as you become an adult, then you start to learn like, oh, there's got to be a better way to handle this. Let me figure out how to do this. And it's almost like getting a car when you're really young. And not learning how to drive until you're like in your 20s.
Right.
And so you're just driving this thing, it's smashing into trees and grinding the gears. And then somewhere along the line, you're like, oh my God, I'm fucking myself up. I have to figure out a way to do this correctly. And there's two different approaches. There's one, the abstinence approach, which is very popular. People say, well, I'm straight edge now. I don't do anything and that's it. And I just do wheatgrass and I run hills and stuff. I'm like, okay, you could do that too. I mean,
right, you can do it.
You definitely can do that too. But I just don't think that there's anything wrong with any of these things. I think there's something wrong with the way we use them.
The idea that working hard doesn't make progress is one of the biggest farces that exists in humanity, because at the end of the day, whatever you amount to isn't going to matter anyways, right? And so if there is anything that's eternal for us, at least as individuals, it's going to be who we become in the process. And so one of my favorite quotes is, the work works on you more than you work on it. And so if you want to be the best in the world at something, you do the work to become the best in the world, and the work works on you. And so I mean, there's a biblical proverb, I think it says like, there is profit in all labor. And that means that even if the thing that you're working on right now doesn't amount to the outcome that you expected that it would, it doesn't mean that you don't become better through doing it.
Let everybody know what's weak about you, because that's not who you are anymore. Just by saying it. It's right that you're publicly saying, I'm better than this, I want to move on. I'm not scared of this. This thing is no longer going to be a handicap for me. I'm no longer going to be the servant of it. I'm not going to be the victim anymore. I'm going to identify the problem solve, fix it. Whatever it takes, and override it. When you do that, not only are you a betterment of a person, but you have the belief and the confidence that what the fuck's next? What else can I overcome? And the answer to that question is anything. Anything. But if you sit back and you war game it, and you're not moving forward, and you just, you start thinking, all right, how am I going to do it? Hesitation builds. With hesitation comes fear of failure. What happens if I do fail? Well, right now it's good enough. Everyone thinks I'm good. If I try and fail, they're going to see my weaknesses. Fuck what they think!
You are your own worst enemy. You waste precious time dreaming of the future instead of engaging in the present. Since nothing seems urgent to you, you're only half involved in what you do.
Every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends. And you're doing this thing, you're consuming content on the internet, you're doing these free tutorials online to try and figure out how to set up a podcast and where do I host this thing? And then you're going through this and you're like, is this even worth it? Because you have no signs of success, right? But if there's anything that you can take away from what we're saying right now, is that The sign of success is the hate that you get along the way. And what you can't do is bend the knee to their hate and fit back into the conformity because it's comfortable and it's warm.
What do you think most people get wrong about motivation?
They think it's a permanent fix. They think it's something that is a constant. They think that maybe once I get it, I'm gonna hold on to it. And that's the thing about that I was telling you, that I always talk about, is nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. And a lot of times you have to learn to perform without motivation. You have to learn to perform without purpose. You have to learn to perform a lot of different things. And that's what people think. They think I need to have this motivation to work out, to study, to be better. So if they don't have it, they just don't fucking do it. And that's where you fail.
You don't have to feel good about it. You just have to keep going. The feeling will pass, but you will remain. You are greater than your feelings. Going to bed late and waking up early to work for a few days won't kill you. You're not going to burn out. You're doing what it takes. If you're one of those people that push work-life balance, just remember, the people who like working a lot don't care. I've never regretted trying harder at anything ever. Hard times last long, but an epic story feels like a lifetime.
What it meant to be human, we're a very creative species, right? We have language, we have consciousness, we have immense powers. Those powers developed under the pressures of necessity, of having to get things done, of having to survive in a very brutal, ruthless world where a leopard could pop out tomorrow and eat me, where there were dangers all around, where food was scarce. And under the pressure, we had to think, we had to be creative, we had to be inventive, we had to be strategic. The human brain evolved under immense amounts of pressure, okay? That's how the brain works.
It's like you already got up the hill. Now you're just coasting.
Yeah.
You know, you're just rolling down the hill. Everything's great.
That's the easy
It's all
part.
smooth sailing.
Yep.
The hard part is getting up that fucking hill. Especially if you got a dad you're hiding from. Especially if you feel like you're a loser. Or you never really had anything in your life that you could look back on and say, hey, I was really good at that. You know, and there's a lot of people out there listening to this. There's so many people that are in that starting point. Like the people that come up to you and say, I don't know what to do. What should I do? How do I do it?
Yeah.
How do I get going? But you're going to have to figure it out, one foot in front of the other.
Exactly.
You're going to have to find a thing and keep working at it and get better at it.
So if you're in the woods and you don't know where to go, start walking. You got to start walking because the perspective's not going to change. You have to start moving forward. You have to start taking steps in order to improve your vision, improve your perspective, change your perspective, make some kind of progress. And worst case scenario, you figure out that you walked the wrong direction. Okay, now you can go walk in the other direction. And that's going to be fine. But standing there lost and not doing anything is just waiting to die, waiting to starve to death. Don't let that happen.
You got to wait for the tide to be right. You got to be able to, you have to be able to sit in some little place called York, Nebraska for 4 days, waiting for the weather to clear. Well, you're going to have the York, Nebraskas in your life. There's going to be places in your life that you're going to have to sit for longer than you wanted to sit. We wanted to spend one night there, but we had to be patient because the timing wasn't right. And so while we were there, we did some stuff and got some stuff organized and got some stuff taken care of so that the time was utilized. And then when the time was right, we moved on.
Herbalife has got the ability to make it all come true, but you've got to decide, what do you want? What kind of income do you want? What kind of gifts do you wish to bestow? What kind of power would you like to have? What kind of influence would you like to have? I'm asking you to go home and work on the why. Spend some time as you fly over the clouds and over the ocean back to where you came from. I'm asking you to have a vision by the time you've reached home of why you want Herbalife to work for you, why you want this kind of income, why you want this kind of recognition and these kinds of skills. I'm asking you to develop your own list of why. Because if you can come up with a strong enough list of why, Herbalife can furnish the how.
You knew you were going to do this. You have to be very aware of the conversation you're having while you're doing it, because your mind chooses the path of least resistance. Your mind has the ultimate tactical advantage over you. It knows what scars you. It knows your fears. It knows your insecurities, and it protects you. Which is why I talked about the 40% rule in my book. The 40% rule is all about the brain has the tactical advantage over you. It knows, and it keeps you away from all that. That's why it says don't jump out of an airplane. Don't go in the ocean where there's sharks. It's a protective mechanism. Don't go back to the place where your dad beat the shit out of you in your mind. Don't go back. The brain protects you, but protects you so much, it doesn't allow growth. So the brain is an amazing thing, but the brain controls you. You must control it. You must take power over your own mind, or your mind will guide you into all the soft places that your brain wants to live in.
It's the underlying key to success, the structure of it. How you go about your day, how you order them, how you repair them, how you give them nutrition. All that stuff is the mindset of a champion. Thinking before acting. You don't just go in there and start throwing weight around. You have purpose for every action. Therefore, every action has a result. This workout here is systematically designed for growth. That's all it's about. But in order to find that growth, you must first feel the pain. Two types of pain, guys. Pain that kills you, hurts you, injures you. And there's a pain of progress that changes you. That's what we're going to embark on. You go in here welcoming that. Your workout doesn't even begin or end until you have felt that. Then you know you've done something today. You can check the box that the opportunities have arisen, the choices you made are for tomorrow's investment for the betterment.
You know, you got to take ownership of what's going on in your life. When you're not where you want to be and you say it's because the boss doesn't like you, or it's because the girl treated you this way, or the guy did this, like all those things, you got to take ownership of. And if you're blaming all these other external things, you're not going to make any changes. And that's going to be a problem.
And that's the problem too. If you're chronically rejected by people, it's often because of your own insufficiencies. You know, whether that's cowardice or lack of social skills or whatever it is, it's like, you can't just brush it off as, oh, well, you know, no one likes me, but really I'm okay. It's like, no, wrong. If everyone rejects you, there's probably something wrong. And it's probably deep and difficult, and it's going to be horrible to fix. And so this isn't a trivial problem. It's not a trivial problem at all.
But yet you're fully committed to sabotaging yourself and your career. Then you're sitting back stressed out and depressed, wondering why. Why ain't things happening? That's the answer. I just gave it to you. It's about as real as it gets. The question is, what are you going to do next week, 2 weeks from now? You're in your own way. You are the reason your career is not on the next level. Nobody else but you.
When you don't have a true appreciation and acceptance for who you are, and you allow yourself to be immobilized by fear, what happens in the process is that you begin to abuse yourself. You begin to sabotage your life. You begin to sabotage your dreams. You begin to unconsciously work against yourself. You become your own worst enemy. So what do you do about that? Well, you begin to realize that your dream and your gifts have so much meaning and so much value for you till your hunger for them will begin to push you past the fear. Your hunger to have them will give you a special drive.
The war will never be won, because that war is a better life, the life of inspirement, where you lead others who join you in that endeavor and create something epic that we talk about back in the day with Leonardo da Vinci or Helen Keller or, Socrates, all these people that did something beyond their scope. Back then, everyone laughed at them for being different. Let those fucking peasants of the world laugh at you now for being different, because that's beautiful. And laugh back at them for being the same motherfuckers as everybody else you fucking see. This workout, when you finish this workout, guys, you should have an internal fucking voice hitting so hard inside yourself. Like mama sitting there ringing the dinner bell. If not, your job ain't done yet.
Most of us, we live in a box. And we don't want to go outside that box at all, ever. Outside that box is all these possibilities of life. What we do is we shackle our mind. We are a prisoner in our own mind that this is all I can do. This is all I'm good at. And we take away the possibilities of you could be this, you could be that, you could be all these things. And I never thought at 300 pounds I could be Navy SEAL.
Wow.
So if my mind was shackled, me and you would never meet. There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be nothing. So what people understand is that they live for themselves, not knowing that you have the power within yourself to change millions of lives by facing life, by facing yourself.
If you're struggling, if you're frustrated with yourself, if you're at that point where you're so sick of yourself and your excuses, I've been there, Stephen's been there. This is a normal part of the human experience. And at some point, either the pain is going to get big enough, or you're going to bump into somebody's story somewhere on this planet who has been in the position that you're in right now, facing the stuff that you're facing right now. And there is something about their story at this exact moment in time that will ignite something in you that is missing. And what is missing in you right now is hope.
Your life's that way too. You can be in the bed, current, flowing, adjusting to life situations where you can sell the fuck out and do what everyone else does. Become a bottle of water, glass of water, where your potential is limited. Don't be that guy. Challenge everything that's going on. Don't let society put you in a glass where your name is second tier. Your job, whatever you're doing, you know, gotta be here for this, gotta be here for that, gotta be there. You be there because you want to be there. You run the day and stop having the day run you. Huge different mindset there. Outcome exponential.
What age should you have everything together? For us normal people, it takes time. Because not only do you have to mature and grow, there's things in life that if you have a big enough dream, you're not the person you need to be right now to fulfill that dream. Now you keep moving towards it, you keep doing what needs to be done, but at the same time you realize that you yourself are gaining in knowledge and in experience and in personal growth.
That if you want it, you gotta go get it. Some of y'all got this concept of what you want to accomplish. You know, some of y'all are motivated by broke. I'm broke, I'm stuck, I'm fucked up, I can't do nothing. Other folks are motivated by materialistic things. It's a very simple concept. If you want it, you gotta go get it.
One has a moral obligation and an ethical duty to be of service and to always strive to be part of the solution and not the problem. After all, it's a world that our children will inherit. That's worth being a part of. That speaks to me. Passion, action, noble intention creates progress. Passion creates progress.